Hello, my name's Bethany and I'm 30 years old. I just got out of a very toxic relationship, and the way the things unfolded actually is pretty funny. So I would share my story with you. Let me begin by telling a little bit about myself and my family. I come from a very, very rich family. I had all the luxuries I wanted when growing up. I didn't have to struggle a single day of my life, which is a privilege I'm very grateful for. My parents did, however, always tell me that it was necessary to keep my mouth shut about our wealth. They often warned me of how easy it is to get taken advantage of when people know of your wealth. And so I learned to live as if I was a part of the normal classes. The only way that you would ever know that I was rich was through the material goods that I had. When it came time to go to college, I decided to study at a university that was on the other side of the country. I believed that it would be good for me to broaden my horizons even further. To make it even more of a challenge, I had my parents put me on a budget so I could further blend in with my peers. It was because of this that I fell in love with the everyday brands and thrifting. I gained access to my trust fund after I graduated college, but I decided to work anyway. My trust fund had more than enough money to last me more than one lifetime, but I didn't want to spend my days doing nothing. After about a year of graduating, I met my now ex-husband Ryan through a dating app. We went on several dates before we decided to make things official. Right off the bat, though, Ryan was very charming. He loved to spoil me with gifts. I would return the favor back, and he was always appreciative of that. We dated for around 2 years before Ryan decided that he wanted me to meet his mother. While I won't delve into what exactly happened the first time I met Natalie, his mother, I will share with you the conversation I had with him when he told me that he wanted me to meet her. So, I've been thinking about something for a while now. What is it? We've been dating for a while now, and I think now is no better time than any other for you to meet my mom. Really? That would be really nice. It'll be a while before you meet my parents. I'm so sorry. No, it's all right. They live far away and our schedules are pretty packed right now. Yeah? When do you think I can meet your mom? Well, I have to cross-check it with her, but I was thinking we could try this weekend. Oh, that's really close. I know, but I really want you to meet her. She's been my role model since, well, forever. And you mean the world to me, so it would be great to see the both of you interact. Oh, I don't mind meeting her whenever you want. I was just surprised at how quickly you wanted it to happen. Also, there is one thing that I need to warn you about. Warn me? What is it? So, you know that my family is pretty well off, right? Yes, I think the cabinet I have dedicated to all your gifts says that is more than enough. Yes, well, my mom can be very judgmental about a person based on your social standing. Oh, I'm just giving you a heads up because I don't want you caught off guard or hurt. If my mom says something, just brush past it. Are you sure she'll say something? What if she doesn't? Well, the chances of that happening are very low. I just want you to know that whatever she says will never affect our relationship or the way I see you. All right, I'm a little more nervous than before, but I'm still excited. To say Ryan's warning did no justice to what Natalie was actually like. Natalie and I had our struggles, to say the least. She made her hatred for me apparent since the start of Ryan and I's relationship. Natalie was one of those snobby rich people. The first time I met her, she snickered at me for wearing clothes from H&M. Now, because she could, Natalie would host dinner parties 2 nights a month, and Ryan and I had to go. Well, Ryan was forced to go, and he would beg me to accompany him. It was for this reason that I even interacted with Natalie so much. If it was up to me, I wouldn't ever interact with Natalie. She always thought that I was with Ryan only for the money. I tried my best on several occasions to explain to her that I had no need for his money. I came from an even richer background than him, but she never wanted to listen to me. She would cut me off and tell me that she had no need to listen to the words of peasants. Obviously, that hurt like hell. Not only was she insulting to people who struggle to get by in life, but she was also insulting me over something so arbitrary. Ryan was never one to go against his mother either, and that only made me feel worse because I felt like I was all alone when it came time to deal with her. The straw that broke the camel's back was on Natalie's birthday. She invited us along with the rest of her family. She decided that it would be funny to poke fun at me in front of everyone throughout the night. She made fun of the clothes I wore, the way I spoke, the way I walked, you name it. She made fun of it. I became the laughingstock of the night, so much so that even Ryan avoided me and chose to interact with everyone else instead of staying by my side. When we got home, I broke down and asked Ryan why he would treat me that way. "How could you be so cruel to me?" "What are you talking about?" "Your mother did nothing but poke fun at me the entire night. She didn't need any entertainment because she made sure I would be that for everyone." "I'm sorry." "Don't even. You avoided me the entire night. Every time I tried to come to you, you would conveniently get into a conversation with someone else, so you'd be too busy to talk to me." "I wasn't trying to do that. I happened to get approached right when you were coming to me." "Sure, but you could have come to find me at some point. I was sitting alone at a corner table and trying my best not to cry. Not once did you come to check up on me." "I was genuinely busy, Beth. If I didn't interact with the guests, my mom would have thrown a fit." "Oh, yeah, because Mommy is all that you can think about." "What's that supposed to mean?" "You have never once stood up for me against your mother's rude comments and behavior." "You know, I have a lot to lose if I do that. If my mother cuts me off, I'll have a horrible time." "Oh, boo-hoo. You've made enough connections of your own to land you a perfectly stable job if she does something like that. You just want to keep living in the lap of luxury, and that is way more important to you than me." "That's not true." "You know what? Actually, you're right. I have been way too much of a coward. I'll be better. I really am sorry for the way you got treated tonight. I'll make sure to call Mom and talk to her about it." "And I'm sorry I was rude when talking to you. There were a lot of things I could have said nicer." "It's okay. You're right to feel that way. You've been dealing with it for a while. You mean the world to me, and I don't ever want you to suffer when I can stop it. Can we stop arguing now?" Yes. It felt good to finally have Ryan see where I was coming from. Ryan stayed true to his word and called Natalie the next day and told her that he did not appreciate the way she treated me. Natalie was shocked that Ryan even said anything, especially considering he had always remained silent about it. Natalie had actually apologized to Ryan after that and promised to be nicer to me. So when the next dinner party was around the corner, I was excited to go for the first time because I figured that Natalie would be nicer. But then she called Ryan and told him that there was not going to be any place for me because she ordered limited amounts of food and there wouldn't be enough for me. I knew that this was just her ploy to get me to stop coming over. The one value I had for her being her source of entertainment was gone, so there was no need to have me there. I tried to explain that to Ryan, but he wouldn't listen. He insisted that his mother had miscalculated. I let it go, and he went by himself. We didn't speak about it again, but after that Natalie always came up with one reason or another for me to not attend. Ryan still believed that his mother was not making things up to avoid me coming. I was initially hurt that she would go to such lengths, but I began to see the positive side of this new arrangement. Lesser interactions with Natalie meant less humiliation. That meant that I was finally experiencing peace and happiness without worrying about anything else. It also meant fewer fights between Ryan and me because I no longer needed him to stand up for me. When I realized that the positives outweighed the negatives by a large margin, I was more than okay with only Ryan attending Natalie's events. We did this for a year, and by this time we had been dating for 3 years. We both had stable careers and things were going great for us. So when Ryan proposed, I was more than ecstatic. I knew we had our ups and downs, but I also thought that we had the ability to work through them all. I said yes, and we began planning for the wedding. While everyone else in our lives was happy that we got engaged, there was one person who was not. Natalie looked at me with disgust before asking Ryan if he was sure that he wanted to marry me. Ugh, Ryan, are you sure you want to marry her? Yes, Mom. Please be nicer. She's the woman I love, and I would like it if you respected that. But I wanted you to marry someone who would add value to your worth, not someone who would degrade it. Not everything is monetary, Mom. She adds value to my life by making me feel happy and comfortable. Well, you can't buy things with happiness and comfort. Mom, that's enough. No. Don't you see what she's doing to you? You've never once questioned the things I've done or said, and suddenly that's all you seem to do. I'm sorry that you're looking at it that way, but all I'm asking is that you treat her with a little respect. She has feelings too. Yeah, I'm sure her feelings are doing good considering the fact that she gets to leech off of you for the rest of her life. Natalie, I've been nothing but nice to you since the start. I tried to tell you over and over again I have no need for Ryan's money. I love him and I want to be with him because of that. So you don't care about the money at all? Absolutely not. Then sign a prenup. Mom! What? Bethany said that she didn't care about the money, so she should be able to sign the prenup without any issue. I'm not signing the prenup. That's essentially saying that I don't trust Bethany or our relationship. Well, you either do it or I'm cutting you off. How could you do that? I'm giving you 3 days to make your decision. I'll have a lawyer write up the prenup and keep it ready for both of you. I couldn't believe what Natalie was making us do. While I would have said yes immediately, it still felt demoralizing for her to even suggest it. That request only further cemented how she thought of me as a gold digger. I knew that I never wanted to put Ryan through something that he was scared of, so I assured him over 1,000,000 times in those 3 days that I was completely fine with signing the prenup. When the day came for us to go over to Natalie's, Ryan had this look of guilt on his face the entire time. Natalie, on the other hand, looked smug. She thought she had won the minute I signed the prenup. I shrugged her off in an effort to show her just how much I didn't care about the monetary aspect of our relationship. After that, we started planning the wedding properly. We figured that if Natalie had more time, she would try to pull more tricks to delay the wedding. We managed to get everything arranged in the span of 3 months. Since Natalie would be there, I made it a point to remind Ryan to get security. I knew that there was no way that Natalie would not try to pull something to humiliate me. The day of our wedding was a huge success. It felt so surreal to walk down the aisle towards Ryan, who stood at the altar gaping at how I looked in my wedding gown. We said our vows and cried a bunch before we were finally pronounced husband and wife. The reception and after party were nothing short of a blast. I had an amazing time with all the people I love. And then, of course, Natalie could not bear to stand the fact that I had most of the attention, so during her toast she mocked me and all my efforts to plan the wedding. She laughed as she said that in a maximum of 2 years' time she would have Ryan out of this relationship and into a relationship with someone who would increase his value. Obviously, a lot of the guests began murmuring amongst themselves, and I didn't want Natalie causing much of a scene, so I discreetly asked Ryan if I could call security, and he told me I could. Natalie yelled and thrashed about as security escorted her out of the venue. I would love to say that I forgot everything she did and moved on and had a good after, but what she said stuck with me the entire night, and even for the rest of Ryan and I's marriage. The day after the wedding, Ryan and I went over to Natalie's place. We wanted to talk to Natalie about her inappropriate behavior at our wedding. What do you guys want? Mom, we just wanted to talk to you about yesterday. If you're here to apologize, you don't need to. What? I understand why you had to sit and watch as I got thrown out of the wedding. This woman has you in her claws and she's controlling you. Mom, that's enough. You were mean and disrespectful at our wedding. That was why you got escorted out. Nonsense. I was only telling the truth. What have I ever done to you for you to treat me this way? I've been kind and loving to your son, and I've treated you with kindness when all you've done is belittle and insult me. Oh, shut it. Enough of your pity party. You are a controlling freak who only wants to use my son for his money. I know it. I can see it in your eyes. You need serious help, Natalie. This is not normal. Okay, Beth, you need to stop. Mom, I know you're hurt that you couldn't celebrate fully with us yesterday, but I just wanted to let you know that we did not like the way you talked about Bethany. Please don't do that again. Natalie just snarled at me, and Ryan pulled me away to go back home. He was upset with me for talking to his mother disrespectfully. I didn't see how standing up to myself for the first time was disrespectful. He had no problem with her disrespecting me for years, but the second I said something in my defense, it was a big deal. Even though I didn't feel like I did anything wrong, I apologized and Ryan let it go. But then that became a pattern that we always followed. After I stood up for myself the first time, I realized just how liberating it was. I hadn't done it before out of fear of what Natalie would do or say. Since I was married, I thought that I had nothing to lose. My relationship was secure and nothing could come between Ryan and me. So I began to stand up for myself whenever Natalie tried to insult me. This usually led to an awkward atmosphere among the guests, for which both Ryan and Natalie would berate me. I would tell Natalie that if she didn't want to be embarrassed, she should simply stop trying to embarrass me. Ryan didn't like that I was upsetting his mother at all and tried to tell me many, many times to stop doing it. But I saw no reason to stop. The only way I was going to stop was when Natalie stopped herself. About 6 months into our marriage, I began to see a change in Ryan's behavior. He began to withdraw himself from me. He was no longer as affectionate as he used to be. It started out of the blue. I didn't think it was about me standing up because in private, Ryan would understand I was right in doing what I did. And then I came home early from work one day to see Natalie's car parked in our driveway. I walked into the house prepared to have to deal with her tormenting me, but instead I walked in on her conversation with Ryan. Have you been thinking about what I've been telling you? Yes, Mom, I have. So you see why I've been telling you it's time for you to leave her? I know, but I don't know how to proceed from here. All I know is that she's been utterly disrespectful to me and you. I mean, just look at the way she's purposely put you in between me and her. I hate it so much. Let's be honest. If she wasn't your wife, you would have easily chosen me over her any day, right? Without a doubt. You can do so much better than this. You're going to go insane with her at this rate. I agree. She really has the gall to act so entitled when she's only staying here for the money. She knows what you're worth, and she wants a chunk of it. Well, I will admit that I have been buying her a lot of things for her, and she hasn't been getting me anything in return. That's how it all starts. I'm telling you, you need to get out before it gets worse. Get me the lawyer you were talking about. I was in shock at what I heard. Was Ryan really that naive that he'd get so easily convinced by his mother's illogical arguments? I opened and shut the front door a little louder so they'd hear it. They stopped talking and I just walked past them to our bedroom. I heard Natalie make a comment about how disrespectful I had been to her yet again, and Ryan just sighed. When I got to our bedroom, I fully expected myself to break down and cry, but honestly, I was just tired. All the months of Natalie trying to constantly get rid of me and Ryan's lack of support wore me down. I was actually glad that Ryan was going to take a step to end the marriage. But as tired as I wasn't going to let them go without making them feel like crap. The next day, I got a copy of my bank statements and my trust fund statements, and I was going to present them to Ryan and Natalie after I signed the divorce papers. By the end of that week, Ryan had presented me with the papers. I could tell that both of them felt annoyed that I hadn't reacted at all, and instead I just signed the papers. I had already taken away one sense of satisfaction from both of them. However, after I signed the papers, Natalie's face turned smug. They had brought their lawyer with them and handed him the papers immediately after I signed them. The lawyer got up and left after. Well, 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 aren't you sad that you no longer have my son's money to spend? I'm not sad. In fact, I'm pretty happy. Happy? Why are you happy? I'm happy that I no longer have to deal with snobs like you. How dare you call us snobs? Leave the girl alone, Ryan. She's lashing out at us for seeing right through her and taking away the one thing she wanted. You guys must be dense as hell to not realize that I never wanted the money. Oh, yeah? Then why were the last few months just me buying you everything under the sun and you not even buying me the smallest thing? Because I wanted to surprise you with something bigger. I was going to buy you your favorite car with all the customizations you wanted. It takes time to make those. I know nonsense when I hear it. Why do you think it's nonsense, Natalie? You don't have the money for that. Who said that? Here, take a look at my bank statements. What the hell am I looking at? You lied to me. I tried my best to tell you both many times that I had no need for money. But Natalie, you never listened to me because I was a peasant. And Ryan, you thought I was disrespectful. Anyway, since both of you love your money so much, you can stick with that. It was abysmal knowing both of you. After that, Ryan and Natalie tried to pull me back into conversation. They ran into the driveway and kept yelling profanities at me for being a liar. Ryan went red in the face because he really believed I had wronged him, and surprisingly, Natalie turned soft and tried to plead with me. She told me she had made a mistake and wanted me to forgive Ryan. I told them both to get the hell out of my life and never see me again. I had a few of my friends go over to Ryan's house and get all of my things from there, and that was it. I blocked both Ryan and Natalie everywhere. They had decided that I had stolen from them, and they themselves tried to contest the divorce, but Natalie made sure Ryan and I had signed an ironclad prenup, so they could get nothing from me. I'm finally starting to live normally again. It'll be a while before I fully recover from the effects of Natalie and Ryan's torments, but I know I'll get there eventually. Thanks for listening.